Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an author, speaker, and proud father. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with Rom Wills. Turn negative situations around. And this is a very key thing. You know what? There's always going to be some negative, something that you ain't feeling, something bad. Something's going to come up. I don't care how well everything is going for you. Something's going to come up. Think something's going to break down. You know, you might not feel as well one day. Though you need to be working on your health, but you know, something is going to come up. And you know what? Honestly, you got to learn to turn that around. One thing my dear grandmother, who's an ancestor now, said, you know, there's always a silver lining. Whenever something comes up, first of all, what do I always say? Stop and breathe. Unless it's something that requires your immediate reaction. Of course, if it's something that you got to make a decision right there, by all means, do it. Handle it right there on the spot. But a lot of stuff you can think on. A lot of stuff can be, you know, you see something coming. It's like, oh, this is a bad thing. Let me see how I can fix this. You know, you stop, breathe, sleep on it if you have to, but then start turning it around. Figure out how you can say, hey, this can be a good thing for me. This can be a good situation. Oh, this could be a time to get a new product or, you know, repair something, whatever the case is, you got to turn it around because in a negative situation, it probably didn't start out that way. It could have started out in a good way, but you know, circumstances happen, situations happen, and it becomes negative. But you got to have the attitude of turning it around. See, a lot of people, when these things happen, they stay in that negative energy. You know, they stay down in the dumps and everything. And it's just like, okay, this happens. You know, you were thrown into that hole. You just don't sit there. You work your way out. Now, is it always going to be? Well, sometimes it's going to be easy. Yeah, sometimes it'll be a simple thing. Sometimes there's a simple solution. Sometimes it's harder. But for every man-made problem, or even a lot of problems in nature, it's easily solved if you just sit there and think about it. And try, first you look for the silver lining, you know? And sometimes even when it happens, as long as it's not life-threatening, you might even just smile, just say, you know what, I needed a new one of these, or you know what, I see how a person really is now. Because one of the things I found in life is you think of it as negative, but then once you start turning it around and you grow beyond it, you'll look back at the situation or something and might say, you know what, that wasn't a bad thing to happen. I give it a point, and I've talked about this a few times, when I had to get a new laptop, right? Now, I had a bunch of stuff on my old desktop, but, you know, once I got the new laptop, yeah, it was a little bit of an annoyance. But once I got the new laptop, I'm like, wait a minute. This is better. Everything is working faster. It's actually been very efficient for my business. And it's just like, wow. You know, and it could be all of that. It could be a negative situation, could be relationships. A mate cheating on you or doing something wrong. And yeah, it's a definite negative situation. You feel bad, but the bright side is you see who that person is that you're dealing with. And a lot of people who've dealt with that situation end up with a better person in the long run and just a better life. And they look back at that and just say, hey, that was a great thing. You know, even when in relationships, when you get rejected, like there's been, and look, I'm gonna be real with you. There's been some women who rejected me in the past, and then I see them years later, and I was like, man, I dodged a bullet because I didn't let it get to me. See, the thing with any negative situation, and I just use those examples because everybody can relate to relationships, but it might be a job. You know, I remember there was a job. It was one of the few jobs I was fired from. I'll share that. I ain't gonna share who it was because it was complicated, right? But it was one of the best things that ever happened. And I look back at it, I wasn't mad. I was like, man, I got out of there soon. Let's just say it was kind of like a young startup business. And let's just say they had some issues afterwards, some major issues. I was like, man, I wasn't a part of it. I was already gone. I actually laugh about it. Even at the time, I laughed about it because I saw the problems then. And that was part of the issues too. Because I was pointing out the problems, but they wouldn't listen. But, it is what it is. But whatever the situation, negative situation, work to turn it around. Just work to turn it around. All right? Take your time with it. Look for the silver lining. Because it could be telling you something. It could be preventing something even bigger negative happening later on. If you deal with that small thing or whatever size it is, then you probably prevent something down the road, and it might even put you on a path to where everything is just totally positive for you. All right. So that's all I had for today. I want y'all to think on it. As always, keep rising and transforming. Peace.